right there in the distance you see the Paramount Studios water tower, I think. The Relay Studios, I don't know how they're involved. And also there, across the street, I don't know how they involved in the production from the movies, and that's the backside. The backside of the Paramount Studios. Again, look at the palm trees here. Very cool. Wow, all there, different stages behind these walls. And a very cool truck. And look here. That's a second entrance. Stage 4, you can see it from here. The Paramount Studios, Paramount Pictures. Welcome to the SW.o.t., the Swabian on tour. Another day out. Hey folks, big day today. I'm heading to the Paramount Studios. I've booked myself a 2-hour studio tour, and honestly, I originally had my eyes set on the Universal Studios, but hey, time's a little tight this trip. Classic Hollywood timing problems, right? So Paramount it is, and guess what? Our hotel is just a 10-minute walk away, literally around the corner here. I'm standing right here near the entrance, and I can see our hotel behind me. Feels more like visiting the neighbors than stepping into movie history. But now, I'm sure many of you who live here in California have seen all this before, but for me, it's a first and honestly, a big moment. So come along for the ride. Let's explore what's behind the legendary Paramount gates together, and let's go. Around the studios, a well-cutted hatch, and 100 times like I'm happy to see palm trees. Wow. Ah, there's the studio tour entrance. Not at the portal. A few meters away from the portal. Unfortunately, I found out that filming videos inside the Paramount Picture Studios is strictly prohibited. Only photos are allowed. That's why this vlog will include a lot of voice-over commentary from me. Here in the lobby of the Paramount Studios, just before meeting our tour guide, you get a glimpse of some movie costumes, in this case from the Star Trek reboot film. Along the wall of the Paramount Story exhibit, you'll find a variety of photos featuring the studio's founders, legendary actors, directors, and many other iconic figures. I really love this photo of the 3 main stars from Beverly Hills Cop. Such a classic. Here you can see Leonard Nimoy on set during the filming of Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. He was both the director and an actor at the same time. If you're curious about how Desilu Productions came to be, feel free to pause the video here and take your time reading the text on this display. You can do the same with the info about Cecil B. DeMille. Just pause and have a closer look. A world-famous press photo of Alfred Hitchcock. And if you want to read the caption, yep, you know the drill, just pause the video. I've loved the Paramount Pictures logo ever since I was a kid. Here you can see photos of the studio's address, its location, and of course the famous Bronson Gate, which has often been used as a backdrop in films. Here's another shot of Leonard Nimoy from my all-time favorite science fiction franchise, Star Trek. You can check out the details on the plaque right below it. Here's another look at the mix of original costumes from various films, a real cinematic potpourri. I absolutely love the Paramount logo, and just a bit further in, you'll see real Oscars on display. I honestly can't remember which exact films they were for, but they're the real deal from various productions. While waiting in the lobby for the tour to start, you get to check out some real movie props. From the Star Trek reboot, there's a tricorder and a phaser, super cool and impressively detailed. And here's a mask from The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. As far as I understood, it wasn't actually worn by Brad Pitt himself, but it was used to create a reproduction of his character's look. While waiting in the lobby, you'll also spot a helmet from Top Gun Maverick. Apparently that one was actually worn by Tom Cruise himself. There's also an old Mitchell camera on display. Really fascinating to see one of those original film cameras up close. And while you're waiting in the lobby, a big screen plays iconic scenes from classic Paramount movies, which honestly gets pretty emotional if you're a film lover like me. Oh, and there's another Oscar. Since you're supposed to arrive about half an hour early, you get the chance to dive deeper into the Paramount story. Checking out even more photos and info panels. There was this amazing 100-year anniversary group photo. I'd love to have that one at home. And here's a picture from Lawrence of Arabia. But one real highlight was the photo booth where you could actually hold a real Oscar. And let me tell you, that thing is seriously heavy. Right after the Oscar photo booth, we stepped outside and caught a glimpse of the famous Paramount Water Tower. Then we headed to our golf carts to explore the lot. Filming wasn't really allowed, but I snuck in a few quick shots just to capture the feeling of riding around. Nothing too detailed, just a little memory for myself. Sorry.
We do not want any bad luck here on the studio lot, so we do not have a soundstage 13. And then soundstage 22 is kind of a funny story. The western part of our studio lot used to be owned by two other studios before us. That was RKO Studios and Desilu Studios. We'll talk about them later. But when we acquired Desilu Studios, sort of the area where they were operating, we had to repaint all the numbers on. And so the rumor is whoever was working there that day, they had painted on 21 and then they had gone on their lunch break. And when they came back from their lunch break, I don't know, maybe they had a great lunch. They saw a cool celebrity on the lot. They came back, they were supposed to paint on 22, but they painted on 23 and just kept on going. So we do not have a soundstage 22. Someone just forgot to paint it on. But yeah, you'll see on all of our sound stages, we'll have these plaques right here. It'll tell you what stage it is, when it was constructed.
As we drove past the stages, I tried to catch the plaques showing which movies were filmed in each of these historic halls.
Over on the left, these are the modern day dressing rooms that we have today. These trailers give easy access to anyone here on the lot to go from one place over to our sound stages. Again, please no photos of the inside of the sound stage, but you can definitely take a little peek from our carts. And so yes, our sound stages are what spaces that we use to make our sets. Anything from TV shows to commercials to films, and they're very, very versatile. All different shapes and sizes as well. And so we're going to get to go to one of our sound stages now.
One thing I thought was really cool. Behind one of the stages, I think it might have been stage 4, there's this narrow gap between two buildings. It's just a plain passage with some exposed pipes and a bit of fencing. Nothing fancy at all. But guess what? This very spot played a key role in Top Gun with Tom Cruise. I'll show you a still from the scene. Beautifully lit and cinematic in the film. In real life, just an ordinary, slightly grimy alleyway. That's movie magic. Next up, stages 5 and 6. No idea what's inside, but the buildings are impressive. Funny thing, there were Universal trucks everywhere. Maybe Paramount and Universal are more connected than I thought. And those giant Star Wagon trailers, no clue if they're part of Paramount or an outside company, but they're massive. Feel free to pause if you want to read the stage plaques. And this office entrance, I'm not sure which films it was used for, but it definitely looked like something worth noting.
There's 5 spaces. So it looks like we have to do a little bit of walking, but we should be fine. We're going to come park right up here, and we're going to be walking over to our sound stage. One thing I forgot to mention earlier for our sound stages, like I said, you cannot take any photos while we're inside the sound stage. This sound stage that we're going to go to is a fully active working sound stage. So we do have the floor of the office spaces right here. That was done right up in this area. Yeah, right over here is the this is one of our most iconic sound stages. It's one of our largest ones as well. Again, please no photos of the inside. We can definitely take a little peek inside from right here. But yeah, inside Soundstage 18, that's where we did our 100 years of Paramount photo. It's where we shot Sunset Boulevard, Shane, Rear Window, Bonanza, The Graduate, Ghost, Mission Impossible 3, American Horror Story was also shot here as well. But yeah.
One thing I really loved was this big blue parking lot. It used to be twice as large, and believe it or not, it's actually a giant water tank that can still be flooded for filming. They shot a biblical epic here, a western series, maybe even Bonanza, and more recent films like The Truman Show. I'll show you a few photos. And one of my personal favorites, Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. The scene where the Klingon cruiser crashes into the San Francisco Bay and they rescue the whales. That was filmed right here.
Let me see. They've been doing a lot of crazy stuff in some of these sound stages. Looks like they're using this for holding right now for some props and some costumes. And so we can start getting on over to the stuff.
Later on in the tour, we got out of the carts and explored the New York street set on foot. And it's not just one backdrop, it's a whole collection of facades, almost like a real neighborhood. Aside from the California sun, you really feel like you're in the middle of New York. You can see the sets from the outside, touch them, and even walk inside.
Back over in Brooklyn, this building right here that my friend Zach is walking out of, this is probably one of my favorite buildings here in New York backlots. Now this has been used in view of the productions that I've shot in each one, and then we'll park, we'll get off, and we'll get to explore New York a little bit more intimately.
I honestly can't remember which films were all shot here, but if you're a film enthusiast, you'll probably recognize a doorway, a storefront, or a building facade, and know exactly which movie it appeared in.
This street was used in a Marvel film recently, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It was when they were outside the Sanctum Sanctorium and there was like a big monster fight that was happening here. It was like right before they were transported into the multiverse. That was shot right here. And then this district that we're approaching is a little bit different.
You might have just heard it from the tour guide. Some Marvel films were shot here too, including Doctor Strange. What I always love is spotting camera cranes or film gear casually standing by the sidewalk. And like I said, you'll definitely recognize a few facades from movies or TV shows. A lot of television productions were filmed here as well. The water tower is always inside. It kind of helps you keep track of where you are as you explore the New York facades. We even got to step inside one of the sets and it was amazing. From the outside, the buildings are made of wood or composite materials, but inside you see this massive steel framework. That's where all the lighting rigs and camera setups go. You can shoot from all angles, even from above. Seeing that structure up close was phenomenal. The water tower was always somewhere in view. What caught my eye too were the Buena Vista Studios logo run by 20th Television. These studios are all deeply connected. We then entered a massive building with steel structures used both for filming and powering the New York set. It's huge and scenes are often shot here from the inside looking out onto the street sets. Our guide showed us old clips and photos, including some from a major fire that once broke out on the lot. And the one who noticed it? William Shatner. While filming Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, he spotted the flames and helped raise the alarm. The fire even made it into the news and Shatner appeared on TV talking about it. On the tour guide's tablet we watched short clips from movies filmed right here on the New York set. Forrest Gump, Vanilla Sky, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, even Jaggers Forever. You could actually recognize the exact facades from the scenes. We stepped back outside to explore more of the street, then continued by golf cart past several sound stages with a great view of the Hollywood sign above stages 30 and 31. We passed the Marlene Dietrich building and saw posters from past productions. One of the highlights was a display of real movie props, not replicas. Some of the vehicles even still showed damage from filming. Filming wasn't allowed here either, but I quietly captured the atmosphere for the memories. That big truck? It's from Transformers the movie. I think even from the very first film. Such a cool vehicle. As the tour continued, we saw more cars from different movies. A real highlight, photos from Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, including a statue of James Earl Jones from the film. There were tons of plaques, posters and info boards. A projection room set up from Star Trek Beyond with props and matching figures on display. We also saw original lighting equipment from earlier decades, models from various science fiction films and of course, Transformers everywhere. One stand out, a full-size Terminator Genesis model. And to top it off, the original Bumblebee, a real Volkswagen Beetle used in the movie. Gift shop. After visiting the gift shop, we were guided toward the exit, which, funny enough, I originally thought that was the entrance. Still, pretty cool to see the backside of what turns out to be both the entrance and the exit. And our tour guide said the Raleigh Studios now it owns, the new owner is Netflix, and they are producing here different shows. All right, folks, that was the video. Yep, lots of photos this time because filming inside the buildings wasn't allowed. But I actually got to step onto the NCIS set, and let me tell you, it was absolutely epic. Walking through those sets felt like being right inside the show. If you're into smaller, more personal experiences and not so much into crowded theme parks, the Paramount Studios tour is definitely for you. Hope you enjoyed the video, and so all that's left to say is, yes guys, that was the video here from the Paramount Studios in Los Angeles. If you liked the video, then give it a thumbs up, push the notification bell, and subscribe to the SWAT. When the Swabian is on tour again, now that was really a tour, and on another day out. Thanks for watching, and tschüssle.